There's a thought that's been on my mind for quite some time, and the thought is take it one moment at a time, and everything is just a moment. You're just having a moment. It's this new mindset, this new thought that I've developed that's really helping me get through hard times. And so I wanted to share it just in case anybody's been stuck in a mindset or doesn't know how to free themselves from the little irritations of life. Like, I personally find myself, I get so irritated so easily. Little things aggravate me. I can be having the best day ever, but one thing happens and I allow that to ruin my whole outlook on life, right? And we allow one bad day to make us think that we have a bad life. And so this whole concept of it's just a moment has really helped me get out of that fixed mindset of thinking that just because I had a bad moment or a bad time in my life that I have a bad life and that everything bad happens to me. We want to remember that powers and life and death is in the power of our tongue. So we want to make sure that we're saying things that bring life into our lives, right? And so this concept, I use it whenever something really bothers me. So let's say somebody bumps you in the hallways while you're walking to school, right? Stuff like that is little, but I would allow it to ruin my whole day. I'd be like, I hate this school. Like, why does nobody care about anybody anymore? Like, da, 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 da. But when I think about everything happening in a moment and how everything is just a moment, it makes me think so differently. Like, yeah, this person bumped into me, but I always try to give people, especially like random strangers, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I always try to make sure that I'm not judging so much. And I did that because a situation happened and I realized that I'm judging people way too much. And let me just get into that quickly so that you can understand. But oftentimes we let little things irritate us because we make assumptions about people, we make assumptions about things. And there's this girl and she hung out with a certain girl, and so I made an assumption about her and I judged her right off the bat. I literally knew nothing about her, never talked to her, right? So she ended up being in one of my classes and we ended up talking, and like every time I talk with her, we have a fruitful conversation. Every time I speak with her, we have a meaningful conversation. Like, it literally blows my mind and it literally makes my whole day. Every time we speak, it's just like I only like it that the conversation brings me life, right? And lately I've been like so out of having like meaningless conversations. Like, I literally hate having meaningless conversations. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I'm done with meaningless connections, meaningless things. Like, everything that I do, like, God says the work of our hands is blessed. So everything that I do, I want it to have an impact. I want it to actually mean something, right? And so with my so-called friends, who I'm letting go of anyways, but with my so-called friends in school, like, I find like I don't have any meaningful conversations with them. Like, we never talk about life. We never talk about important things. We always talk about stupid, irrelevant things. And the Bible tells us to avoid having meaningless conversations and gossips, right? So it's so funny how the girl that I judged makes me feel the best, right? The girl that I judge negatively makes me feel the best when I'm around her, but my own friends make me feel bad when I'm around them. We need to remember everything is just a moment, right? That moment when you see somebody hanging out with a certain person, you want to judge them, that's just a moment. You have the thoughts you have. We're told to take our thoughts captive. So you take your thoughts captive in that moment and you let it go. Assumptions about people, you let it go. Assumptions about situations and the outcome of situations and the future and everything, let it go, right? I'm really learning to let go. And guys, it's the most freeing thing ever. Let everything just be a moment, and enjoy that moment, be in that moment. Like, I catch myself doing this sometimes where I'll be taking a walk and it's the most beautiful weather and I'm just so at peace. I'm just having such a great time and I'm so happy, and I'm like, no, I'm so mad. Like, I don't want this moment to go away. Like, I want this moment to last forever. And then I catch myself and I'm like, instead of you complaining about how you want this moment to last forever and you don't want it to go away, you thinking about that is making the moment go away. This moment is good. You're happy in this moment. You're living your life in this moment. And that is all amazing. But you need to be present in this moment. Like, why is your head in the future and you're walking in the present? You need to try your best to live in the moment. Yes, you're having a great time. Yes, you never want this time to end. But the best way we can make memories and the best way we can gain genuine peace is if we live in that moment and just let that moment be that moment. After that moment is over, you can reminisce on the moment, but don't hold on to it, because there's more moments to come. There's more things to come. Like, the past is in the past and you have to look forward. We have to look forward. So that was just something that I wanted to say, right? And this is also a quick little reminder that I think that I'll throw in here is, if you know somebody isn't good for you, if you know somebody's not bringing anything to your life, if you've been around people who are just not beneficial to you, if you've been having conversations with people who that's just not beneficial, if you've been having gossips and everything like that that's not adding any value to your life, and I don't think any gossip adds value to your life, but if you're doing all these things and you find that there's no fruit coming from it, and you'll know them by their fruit, and the fruit of the Holy Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So if none of your conversations are bringing out actual maturity and intelligence, why are you having those conversations? You need to learn to let it go. And this is a reminder for me too. But we literally need to learn to let these things go. It's not worth it to continue to think about these things. It's not worth it to have these conversations. And you know what? If you're still having a hard time with that, that's okay. As you grow older and as you mature, you literally just fall out of love with having random fights with people, or with having meaningless conversations, or with having streaks on Snapchat. Like, as you grow older, you fall out of love with these things. They don't impress you anymore. As you focus your eyes on God, stuff like this, you can't entertain thoughts like that. Your focus is in such a high holy place that you can't focus your thoughts on bare minimum things of this world. So just continue to set your eyes on Jesus, and you will notice, like, focus your eyes on God, and you will notice, like, all these things that once meant so much to you, they're really not going to mean anything. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing. That's a sign of growth. That's a sign of maturity. That's a sign that God, like, you can see God's work through you. When you no longer like to hear gossip, when there's a celebrity problem going on and you're not on the shade room typing in the problem to see what's going on, when you've gotten to that point in maturity level where you simply don't care about what celebrities have to do, and you simply don't care about any of these things, then and only then will you truly gain peace. So remember, whether it's bad, whether it's good, whether it's so-so, whether you don't even know how it feels, let everything just be a moment and live in that moment. If you're feeling sad, don't go to sleep feeling that way. That's just a moment. That's just a feeling. You're just having a moment. But knowing you're always going to get up again. God's always going to lift you back up. What's that Bible verse? The righteous falls 7 times and God lifts them up 8. Like, I don't know. But nobody will ever catch you lacking on the floor just there. Like, you will always rise up again, and you've always done it. You've been rised up. You've always done it. Right? So we just need to remember that. Let everything just be a moment. The more we think of things like that, the easier life becomes. When you think of life as a long continuation of things in a negative way, like, it's just going to get harder and harder for you to live the prosperous life God truly has for you. So let things be a moment and let go of that person, let go of that place, let go of that job, let go of anything that doesn't align with the perfect will of God.